We recently had someone ask us to build a desk using some custom tapered table legs. Now, we had never actually made these before, so we came up with a way to make them pretty quickly and pretty consistently using a jig on our joiner. Here's how we did it. For these legs, we started with some rustic pine 3.5-inch posts. We cut each to roughly 31 inches to begin with, then jointed and planed them to make sure they were square and to give them a nice hard edge. We then cut each to exactly 29 1/4 inches in length. We set the posts on 1-inch boards so we could get our clamps underneath and clamped a 5 1/2-inch board to the top of the set to act as a router guide. Using a 1.5-inch round nose bit, we just ran the router against the board, cutting a nice even groove across all 4 posts. This is the same bit you might use to cut a juice groove in your cutting board. Once we had the first side cut, all we had to do was flip the posts, reclamp, and do it again until all 4 sides were complete. Each time we set our posts to cut, we made sure to use a long clamp on all of them to keep them from shifting. You might ask why we didn't just use a wood lathe to taper these legs. Our client very specifically requested tapered legs with square edges, so that ruled out the lathe. These will eventually be painted and distressed, which is why we chose the rustic pine. To add just a little extra bit of decorative molding, we lowered our blade on our table saw, and using the miter guide, we cut grooves about 1.5 inches below the router cuts. We set our saw fence to run against so each one could be perfectly even. We made a small jig out of some scrap wood. It's just essentially a thin plate with a 1x1 block glued to it to act as a backstop. This would allow us to place it under the top of each post and use our joiner and several passes to cut the tapered edge on each side. Now, I'm not trying to say this is the most efficient or best way to taper these legs. It's just how we decided to do it. At any rate, now we have 4 matching legs to build our desk. Thanks so much for watching. If you have the time, please like this video, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel.